should also be taken as important considerations.
Yes, I think so. One thing I mentioned there in my talk, this I had read many years ago. If you want to be admitted to Harvard, you must have not just an average intellect, you must be above average, or if not superior. I asked this question once of somebody in the admissions program. Can we make psychological tests also part of the UPCAT? In other words, all of the people applying for admission to the university should have an IQ test beforehand, not afterwards. And let's say only those with 120 up can apply. I mean, can we, I don't know if that's possible to do, but it's something I think we should discuss and entertain. I mean, if Harvard can do it, shouldn't the premier university of the Philippines be able to do something like that? I don't know if it's going to be very popular, but it may be what this university needs or what this country needs. Well, of course, there's other ways of measuring intelligence, but the point is simply, I think we've got to be a bit more strict.
Thank you, sir. Now may I call on Dean Saloma, Dean of the College of Science, UP Diliman.
Good afternoon. Can you please explain more? What do you mean? What is an intellectual? I mean, can one be an intellectual without mentoring the future generation of scientists? Is it enough to just be able to be a good speaker and then contribute nothing new to scientific knowledge? What I'm driving at is trying to create measures of becoming an intellectual, of becoming a great scientist or a researcher.
Thank you, Dean. You know, when I was, I think all of us have our own ideas as to what is an intellectual. There's many definitions and so on. I think one of the first, if I can begin to define or describe what I feel is an intellectual, number one is that you must have superior intelligence. Okay? IQ no lower than 120, preferably 130 and above. Right? All right, now, okay, but that is raw intelligence. That does not make you an intellectual. Then has to come what has been brought up earlier, the scholarship, the profundity of knowledge, the research that you now stock up. It's like, you know, an intellectual is not just a supercomputer that's empty. Kailangan it's got to have terabytes of data inside that it can use. Okay? Now, if you cannot use that, you're useless. So this human computer, as you pointed out, must now be able to use those terabytes of knowledge and impart them to the students. That is what university education is all about. You cannot be a faculty member if you cannot be a mentor, if you cannot impart knowledge to the youth, to the young. That's what the university is all about. Hindi lang sa'yo, kailangan it has to be, by definition, faculty members must be teachers. Okay? You cannot just be a researcher, you've got to also be a teacher. Importante yung mentoring. Okay? So ganon, well, I suppose in very simple ways, that's what an intellectual is. A high degree of intelligence that has been cultivated, that has researched and is now very scholarly, And then that knowledge must be shared with our students. Otherwise, we have no business being in this university. So it does imply communication skills, it does imply interaction with the young, or old, what's the case may be. You know, we can have old students, no problem. What's important is that there is this mentoring process that you referred to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let's give the floor to President Nemenzo, former President Nemenzo.
Dr. Gomez just doesn't know how beautiful it is to be grandfather. I also agree with Ed that we better tone down this claim that we are a center of excellence. A lot of, if you read the brochures of various units, they almost take for granted that they are already excellent. And I think we better tone down, let's have a bit more of humility. That excellence is something we aspire for. It is not a description of what we are already. But I am not going to talk about kayabangan. Which, I want to go back to that idea. Professor Chancellor Cao is quite right in pointing out that there have in fact been an increasing number of interdisciplinary collaboration across the university. And we try to encourage that, and I think that is still going on. But this informal interaction that Dr. Gomez has mentioned to us is really very important. It is a very important ingredient of university life. And this is what we are beginning to miss. I keep telling people, and my professors were annoyed with me when I keep saying that I learn more from the coffee shop, from the basement coffee shop than in the classroom. Because this conversation is really so important in stimulating our minds and developing our argumentative skills and inspiring us to do some more work. But you see, I was so annoyed when after my deanship, the coffee shop in the faculty center was closed down and transferred to the basement. And I knew it was going to kill the spirit that was many of us appreciated. When I was dean, I used to go there because being an administrator has an idiotizing effect on you. So you go there to be recharged. So when I became president, I had that coffee shop brought back to the second floor of the faculty center, but I do not know if it has retained the old spirit. Since we banned smoking, I think. Anyway, during my time, President Roman was then the Chancellor of UP Diliman. We had this ambitious plan of using that area between the arcade and the law center to turn that into a academic tambayan, where we would have small ethnic restaurants and music bar and so on, and tables big enough for us to get together, to force us. Unfortunately, we did not have the money to construct it. We had a plan. We offered it for was that BOT arrangement, but no takers. So that is but there was a little substitute to that. That is the silungan in the Bahay Kalinaw, and I really regret that it has been closed because I do not know. Probably we were not making money there, but that's not supposed to make money. The whole idea of putting it there and making it comfortable and looking the other way when some people are drinking and having a smoking area was really to revive that spirit of conversation, which I think is an essential part of university life.
Well, no, I think I just agree that he agrees with me. No, it's, you know, when I was, I'm sorry if I have to go back to my graduate student days. One of the great sort of opportunities that we had at Scripps when I was a graduate student is every Friday, the graduate students bought 2 kegs of beer, and the whole student body, graduate students, since Scripps is only a graduate student department, and the faculty, including the director of Scripps, had beer for about an hour and a half until the 2 kegs of beer were finished. It was an opportunity for people to exchange information, to meet people, to rub elbows with the director and other faculty members and just find out. These informal gatherings are very important, where you have an exchange of information and ideas, you have debates and so on, because they sort of bring you up to date and they make contacts for you. I think we need similar things in this university, and in all of the campuses, as a matter of fact. And if there are ways that the administration can sort of sponsor these or make them happen, I think this is something that's very important for university education.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a question from UP Mindanao. Professor Alabado, come in, please.
A young campus in the UP system, can you please share with us 1 or 2 suggestions in our journey towards bringing excellent tertiary education here in Mindanao?
I had the opportunity of having been, I think, 1 year a member of your university council. And at that time, I had the opportunity to talk to some of the people there. I think UP Mindanao is in a very sort of unique position to make some real contributions to this country in terms of the history and culture of Southern Philippines. I think by focusing on areas that have not been sufficiently studied and addressed, you can sort of cut a path for your campus. At the time, I think that I was there, I seem to recall the 6-volume series of Jesuit letters from Mindanao were just about to come out. I had at that time 1 volume, and I happened to read some chapters, and I found it very, very informative, and gave me a little bit of a feel for what Mindanao was like